Looking for a trusted supplier for all your household hardware needs? Look no further than Competitive Hardware Limited. We provide top quality building materials including cement, all types of iron sheets, paints, PPR and PVC pipes, electric pipes, building grills, BRC and square till in various sizes. Need interior and finishing materials? We've got you covered with gypsum rails, marine boards, ceiling boards and tanks of all sizes. For fencing, we stock barbed wire, chain link and wire mesh. And the best part, we offer free countrywide delivery with our fleet of transit trucks and pickups. Your order arrives on time, every time. Visit us in Kitengela along Namanga Highway, opposite 411 stage, or at our branches in Kitisuru and Busia. For enquiries, call us on 020-26-88-888 or 0733-666632 or 0721-923248. Competitive Hardware Limited, your reliable hardware supplier. Competitive Manpower International Limited is recruiting delivery riders in the United Arab Emirates. If you have a passion for the road and a desire to work in a fast-paced environment, then this is your chance. Don't wait. Send your applications to competitivemanpower@gmail.com. Want to apply in person? Visit our offices at Kiko Road behind the Casa Hotel, KCB River Road, Nairobi. For more details, call us now on 0721-506627 or 0733-392180. Act. First opportunities are limited. Secure your spot today and start your journey as a delivery rider in the United Arab Emirates. Looking to build a better future in the Gulf? Exciting job opportunities in Saudi Arabia for Kenyans. Competitive Manpower International Limited is currently recruiting for a wide range of skilled and semi-skilled positions. We are now hiring helpers for 1,200 Saudi riyals, steel fixers at 1,500 Saudi riyals, shuttering carpenters at 1,500 Saudi riyals, masons at 1,500 Saudi riyals, charge hands at 1,500 Saudi riyals, foremen at 1,800 Saudi riyals, scaffolders at 1,200 Saudi riyals, welders at 1,500 Saudi riyals, and plumbers at 1,500 Saudi riyals. Call us today on 020-222-4844 or 0721-506627 or 0733-392180.
Welcome to CBS 1 p.m. News. Today being on Friday, 25th April 2025, we bring you updates from different parts of the country. My name is MWANAPILI ADILIE. On to the news. Opposition leaders have raised concerns about the ongoing vetting process for new IEBC commissioners, accusing the Kenya Kwanza administration for interfering in the selection. Speaking at a press briefing at their party headquarters, Wiper's Kalonzo Musyoka and DAP-K's Eugene Wamalwa claimed the ruling coalition was manipulating the process to influence the composition of the electoral body. The leaders demanded a bipartisan approach to ensure credible future elections, urging the government to cease interference in the team's formation. They further insisted on being consulted before the final list of nominees is presented to Parliament for approval.
We are aware of a deliberate effort to hijack the IBC process. This is a critical process to our democracy. And as the process is drawing to a close, we have seen very deliberate efforts by Bwana Ruto and his regime to hijack this process, to ensure they get a Ruto-friendly IEBC and leadership. We've seen the leakages of certain names, their preferred candidates, and the shaping of the thinking on who should be the next IEBC chair. They are obviously looking for another Chebukati. We want to tell them we are aware, we will stay vigilant, and we want to see that process concluded properly so that we have a proper IEBC in place. ODM is not the opposition. Raila Odinga is not the opposition. They have joined the broad-based government. They have signed a post-election pact at KICC. Therefore, Bwana Ruto and Bwana Raila, who are both part of the broad-based government and the main shareholders, cannot be consulting themselves. They are government, they must consult the opposition. And that's why we are demanding that we are the tail end of this process. That principle must be respected and adhered to.
Therefore, we expect to see an IEBC that will be transparent, that will refuse manipulation when it comes to procurement. So, as you join as new commissioners and we will have occasion to talk to them, you are not going there to serve William Samoei Ruto. You are not going to serve there Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. You are going to serve the people of Kenya. Please be different. Even, in fact, some of you can say, kulingana na mimi nimesikia Kalonzo akiongea mimi sitaki hiyo kazi. You will have taken a very important decision if you do so. Because ukichaguliwa na ingie pale, from day one, Kenyans will be on your case.
Opposition leaders have threatened to join Gen Z protests in June if the government increases taxes in this year's finance bill. Led by Wiper's Kalonzo Musyoka and DAP-K's Eugene Wamalwa, they have urged the government through the Ministry of Finance to reduce taxes, arguing that Kenyans are already overtaxed. Meanwhile, former UDA Secretary General Cleophas Malala has challenged ODM leader Raila Odinga to clarify his position on compensation for youths killed during the Gen Z protests. The opposition leaders have also hinted at forming a coalition of all opposition parties to challenge President Ruto's administration in the 2027 elections.
Tuliona mkataba kati ya chama cha UDA na chama cha ODM. Na ukiangalia ile memorandum ambayo walitia sahihi, jambo moja lilitokeza katika hiyo memorandum kwamba chama cha ODM kinapeana masharti kwamba ni lazima wale na zile familia zilizoadhiriwa wakati wa maandamano ya Gen Z wapate compensation, na wale ambao walihusika kwa mambo ya mauaji na abductions za Gen Z wachukuliwe hatua. Ningependa kabla turudi tena kwa finance bill ingine, ningependa kuuliza kiongozi wa chama cha ODM Raila Odinga akuje wazi aseme wamefikia wapi katika kutekeleza mkataba hiyo.
These times are very interesting, they're very trying. Na wakati mwingine wa kuleta finance bill 2025 ikiwa ni ile mambo ya zakayo na ushuru bado tutayangusha. Nyinyi mko tayari? Mko tayari? Because hatuwezi kukuza uchumi kwa kuleta kodi baada ya kodi nyingine, na sisi tumesema wazi, kwa mfano that thing they call affordable housing fund, hiyo ni ukora mtupu. We shall throw it out under executive order number 1.
Today, as we approach the first anniversary of the 25th of June Gen Z revolution, we want to tell Zakayo and his experts at the Treasury that this time round we will not accept to see our young people being killed on the streets. If they are going to raise taxes, as we know they are hell-bent on raising more taxes, increasing taxes against the wishes of many Kenyans who are already overtaxed and cannot bear the burden of more taxes. So, Bwana Zakayo, we are here to demand that you listen to the experts. And we want to tell the expert, Bwana Mbadi, that we want those taxes reduced, not increased. So whatever measures you are going to put in place to increase the already overburdened Kenyans who have been taxed. As DAP Kenya, as the opposition, we will not allow our children to come out alone. It will not be a Gen Z issue in June. It will be a Gen Zote. We will all come out to say no to you, Zakayo, and the taxes that you intend to increase.
Today I stand here with a very saddened heart. Saddened because a president who claims to fear God does not fear the voice of young people. And when I say saddened that he does not fear the voice of young people, what I mean is this: the voice of young people in any nation is the voice of the nation and is the voice of God. So you cannot claim to fear God and not fear the voice of young people.
Moving on, opposition leaders have expressed concern over Kenya's deteriorating position in diplomatic circles, warning that it is costing the country dearly. Speaking at a press briefing in Karen, Nairobi, leaders including DAP-K's Eugene Wamalwa and Wiper's Kalonzo Musyoka criticized President Ruto's diplomatic policies, blaming them for Kenya's diminished global standing. They accused the administration of repeated blunders, leading to Kenya's diplomatic downgrade, and vowed to realign the country's foreign policy with global standards if given the opportunity.
Where Zakayo has done the most damage might not be the policies in the health sector or education or energy sector. It is in our diplomatic standing. Today, Kenya has lost respect, not just of our neighbors in the region. Kenya is the anchor state in the Horn of Africa region. We are the stabilizer of this region, and Nairobi has been looked at as a stabilizer of the entire Horn of Africa region, whether it's in DRC, whether it's in Somalia or Sudan or South Sudan. But under the leadership of this current regime, Kenya has lost that prestigious leadership position in matters foreign policy. We do not even know what our foreign policy is now. We have always held a non-aligned foreign policy until William Ruto came. We saw him head west and sit in the Oval Office. Today is in Beijing. Today he has turned Nairobi into the home of the Janjaweed. You are talking of the RSF that was actually allowed to form a parallel government in the city of Nairobi. This has antagonized Khartoum in the Sudan. We have seen him interfere in DRC. As we speak, very many people from Congo are suffering because of the poor leadership in the foreign policy of our region.
To ask, why is the assembly not meeting? Why are people not giving up? Because President Felix Tshisekedi, when William Ruto alikuja hapa akasema anakaribisha M23, yeye from that time akasema, and that thing was so costly, ndio ilisababisha hata baba kukosa kura in Addis Ababa. Mistake ya mtu mmoja. That's why I said Raila did not lose. Alianguka kule Addis ni Ruto. Because kule kura inapigwa na president. Na president asipopiga kura hakuna mwingine from that country, not even the foreign minister or prime minister. This is why President Museveni didn't vote, he didn't vote. Na wale wengine. So these things are in the time. You mess up your country, you mess up the region, we will have to drive you out democratically, of course.
Yes. The Ministry of Health and the Council of Governors have entered into an agreement under the Intergovernmental Participatory Agreement, a deal that will drive major improvements in the health sector across counties. This comes as the government begins registering all public health facilities nationwide for digitization. Saka Richard with the story.
Speaking during the signing of the agreement, Health CS Aden Duale says that the devolved units were key in implementing the universal health care coverage, urging the county bosses to use the equipment under their care to improve health in their counties.
Health is a devolved function, and for us to attain the universal health coverage, the important role of the Council of Governors, who are the custodian of all the health facilities in our country, most of the public health facilities, is important. And I want to thank them for doing two things. Today, we have signed the inter-party intergovernmental participatory agreement on digitization of the public health facilities. Over 74,000 gadgets that will be used by over 6,500 public health facilities will be distributed to all our public health facilities across the country.
Duale has asked the governors to ensure that the 80% of Kenyans not in any form of insurance have access to universal health coverage through the social program.
The leadership of the president going to make sure, inshallah, that universal health coverage works, and it works mainly for the people at the bottom of the pyramid. The indigent, those who could not pay anything, those who are in our social protection program, we have agreed in principle they will be taken care of by both the national government, the county governments, our members of parliament. We want to tell them through your CDF now it has to succeed. President Kibaki tried, it failed. President Uhuru did the 4 pilot counties, it could take off. But as we speak here, every day without coercion, with no marketing, with no roadshow, between 40 to 50, 60,000 Kenyans are registering.
This comes as the ministry rolls out a program to digitize all the public health facilities in the country, with the training of healthcare workers kicking off. On their part, Council of Governors led by Nyeri Governor Kaiga Mutai and his Tharaka counterpart Mudomi Njuki have committed to work with the national government to ensure locals in the devolved units got quality health care.
Towards fulfilling and ensuring that this country achieves the UHC dream. This is a dream that is long overdue.
The Ministry of Health and the counties shall strengthen the engagement in preparation of rollout of BRES at the subnational level.
Saka Richard, CBS News, Nairobi.
In other news, police in Buruburu have intercepted Bang with an estimated street value of 8 million shillings in Umoja. Buruburu OCPD Mr. Francis Kamau confirmed that the drugs packed in 2 vehicles are believed to have originated from the Nyanza region en route to Mombasa. The seizure followed a tip from intelligence sources. Kamau urged the public to remain vigilant and collaborate with police to combat drug abuse. He also warned youth to seek legitimate livelihoods instead of drug trafficking. One suspect is in custody as investigations continue. The OCPD further advised car hire services to verify clients' details and destinations before renting out vehicles.
Usiku ya jana, kitu kama saa 8, askari yetu ambao walikuwa kwa doria kwa area za Umoja 1 walipata information kutumia maarifa yao, na wakajua kuna gari ambaye inabeba mihadarati ambaye kwa kizungu inaitwa cannabis sativa. Wakachukua hatua mara moja, alafu wakafuata ile gari na wakaipata sehemu fulani ya Umoja 1 ambaye ni iko area za Donholm. Baadaye wakaset mitego, pakaja tena gari ingine. Hiyo mwenye gari ya kwanza ambaye ni KCU 077C Fielder Silver ikawachwa, lakini askari yetu wakuchukua hatua kwa mara hiyo. Ndio baadaye pakakuja gari ingine ambaye ni KDS 072K pia Fielder, na dereva ndio akaanza kushukisha vitu kutoka kwa hiyo gari ya kwanza kuweka kwa gari ya pili. Ndio askari yetu wakafumania hao na kushika hao watu, lakini wakati walikagua wakaona mwenyewe amebeba bangi ikiwa imejaa gari. Kwanza hiyo gari ya kwanza imejaa full kabisa mpaka mwisho. Alafu kulikuwa na transfer ingine. Reason ya kutransfer tuko najua kwa sababu gani, lakini niko subject to uchunguzi. Kwa saizi tumehesabu magunia, na kando na magunia ni 6. Zile gunia kubwa. Na kando na hizo gunia kuna zile pieces kando kama hizi zenye nimeshika hapa. Mingi sana ambayo alikuwa anachukua kubadilisha. City value ya hii kitu yote tunaona ni kama estimate ya 8.5 million. Hii mihadarati imeumiza watoto wetu. Wengi wamewacha mashule kwa sababu ya mihadarati, wazee wamewacha maboma zao kwa sababu ya mihadarati, watu wengine wamewacha makazi kwa sababu ya mihadarati. Kwa hivyo na tahadhari napeana kuwa wale wanauza hivi vitu hawana bahati. Tutasukumana nao kabisa. Suspect ambaye tuko na mmoja, lakini tuko na matumaini kuna wengine, na kwa sababu kesi inaendelea na uchunguzi ambaye iko kwa DSA yetu wamechukua. Pia tumepata kitengo kutoka headquarter idara ya ambayo inapigana na mihadarati, that is anti-narcotic unit, iko hapa na ndio tuko nao hapa, na kuna wataanza investigation mara moja, na tuko na imani watu watashikwa wengi.
The Kilifi South MP's office has called on the national government through the Ministry of Education to improve the education sector in Kilifi County by ensuring students have access to adequate and experienced teachers. The office made this appeal during the NAT annual general meeting held yesterday at Kibaoni Primary School in Kilifi. Victor Katana, the Kilifi South Constituency MP's assistant, attributed the county's poor national examination result to the teachers' shortage. Katana urged the government to address this challenge, which has burdened parents forced to pay extra charges for board of management teachers.
Kama tunataka kubadilisha county zetu, ni lazima tuone kwamba watoto wetu wanapata elimu. Na kama ni kupata elimu, ni lazima wapate walimu wa kutosha ambao pia wameandikwa na serikali. Tunapeana wakati mgumu zaidi kwa wazazi. Wakati ule hii kama ni serikali inamaanisha ya kwamba kama ni masuala na matakwa ya elimu yasimamiwa na serikali. Lakini leo hii ninashukuru Mheshimiwa Rais kwa yale yote mema anayofanya. Bado nitarejelea kusema mgala muwe, lakini haki yake mpe. Kwa sababu pia Kenya hii kuna sehemu ambayo aliipata na kuna sehemu ambayo anaipeleka na pia ananuia kuipeleka ili kila kitu kiwe sawa. Najua hapa leo si kongamano hilo, lakini utakuta walimu walioandikwa na serikali ni 12, walimu ambao wanalipwa na pesa ya mzazi ni 40. Inaingiana hapo?
Let TSC pay you the number of years for which you worked, when you are still a good man, a good woman. Forget about the time that you sinned. You should be paid for the time you worked. And I want to repeat, benefits for a worker should not depend on the behavior of the worker.
And now bishops from various denominations in Jovu constituency, Mombasa County, have urged the government to allocate land for construction of a drug rehabilitation and treatment center to help youth struggling with addiction. The religious leaders argue this could significantly reduce crime in the area, as many youth involved in criminal activities are victims of drug abuse.
Speaking to CBS News, the bishops emphasized that the church cannot turn a blind eye to the increasing number of young people losing direction due to drug addiction. They urged political leaders, community organizations, and the government to work together in developing strategies to address the crisis.
Nakuta kuwa vijana wengi, wasichana kwa wavulana wameharibika kwa ajili ya mihadarati, na ndilo jambo ambalo kabisa tunaomba na tunajua serikali kabisa inaunga mkono jambo hilo ili vijana wetu wasiweze kupata tabu. Maana wanapokuwa katika mihadarati, basi hapo ndipo wanaingia katika mambo mengine ambayo hayawezekani, si rahisi kuyaweza kuyasuluhisha. Lakini tukianza mapema katika rehabilitation katika mji huu wa Jomvu, bila shaka mambo yote yatakuwa sawa.
Led by their chairman Elias Karisa, they asked the government to allocate a piece of land in Jomvu for the establishment of a rehabilitation center for youth struggling with drug addiction.
Kama watumishi wa Mungu tulikuwa tunaonelea ya kwamba tungepata nafasi hii na tukawa na mahali ambapo tunaweza tukawasaidia vijana wale, inakuwa vizuri zaidi. Pia tumeangazia mambo ya uhalifu, kaona ya kwamba wakati ambapo tutakuwa tumedhibiti swala hilo la mihadarati, tutakuwa pia tumewasaidia wale vijana, kwa kuwa wengine hawana kazi na wanapokuwa wameingia kwenye mihadarati wanasukumwa na hali ya kuingia kwenye uhalifu.
In addition, they raised concerns that many church-owned lands in the area lack title deeds and called on the relevant ministry to issue the necessary documentation.
Kwa hivyo hicho ni kitu ambacho tunaomba kiweze kusukumwa na kikaweze kufanyika kwa haraka na kikaweze kufanya kwamba sisi kama wale wachungaji hata wenyeji wanaoishi maeneo haya wakaweze kupata hati zao za kumiliki ploti ama shamba na kila kitu ambacho kiko hapa.
The president's political advisor Karisa Nzai met the religious leaders and assured them that their concerns would be addressed. He encouraged the purchase and titling of land already developed under the Coastal Quarter Settlement Plan, in which President William Ruto allocated 1 billion shillings to support the initiative.
Tuhakikishe kwamba legacy ya president inawekwa. Kwa sababu amesema nimeweka pesa, lazima watu wanunuliwe ardhi na tuhakikishe kwamba yote tuna. Kwa hivyo wakaaji musiwe na wasiwasi. Mpangilio wa rais uko imara.
Paul Kamau, Mombasa.
Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni has urged President Ruto to prioritize development projects that benefit Kenyans when seeking financial support from China. Speaking on Wednesday, Kioni cautioned against acquiring loans for initiatives lacking direct value to citizens. He emphasized transparency and tangible impact in the use of borrowed funds.
Sisi wote tunajua kwamba William Ruto sasa wako Uchina. Na tunasikia ameenda kukopa pesa za kujenga leli ambayo alisema ya kwamba imebaki kwa kichaka. You remember he said that it is in a bush, it is in Uhuru's chamba. Hiyo ukora yote alisema. Na sasa ameenda kuwaomba pesa wale ambao waliwatukana. Maybe they will be gracious enough to give him money. But what we are also asking is, with all this borrowing, what do they have to show for it? Kukopa unaweza kopa, lakini wapi maendeleo? Hatutaki hiyo mambo ya kukopa pesa ndio ununue saa ama uanze kufanya mambo ambayo tuliona akifanya pale beleni.
And lastly, the Ministry of Mining and Blue Economy has urged prospective mining investors to strictly comply with regulations to obtain operating licenses. During a visit to Base Titanium in Kwale, the ministry's secretary emphasized that land acquisition requires transparency and fairness. He clarified that no investor can acquire land without government approval, as all land remains public property under either national or county governments.
Na wale wajapata zile vyeti wanahitajika wafanye nini ili wapate na hiyo vyeti ya kufanya mambo ya mining. Kwa hivyo ni mambo ya kuelimishana, na wale ambao wanataka kugrab, nataka tuambie kwamba hakuna shamba ambayo itaweza kuwa grab, kwa sababu shamba either belongs to the community, shamba either belongs to the county government, or shamba belongs to the national government. So unless you have an allocation from the three, that's when we shall consider you. So hata ukigrab na unataka leseni, utapata haja leseni na ile hali hauna ile idhini ya kumiliki ile shamba. So itakuwa ni kazi ya bure. Fuata sheria, upate leseni ili uendelee na shughuli zako. Kwa hivyo tuko naenda shughulikia hiyo. Najua kumekuwa na changamoto kwa sababu ya ile rush. Yes.
Well, that marks the end of our bulletin this afternoon. Stay tuned for more updates at 4 p.m., 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. My name is MWANAPILI ADILIE.
Looking for a trusted supplier for all your household hardware needs? Look no further than Competitive Hardware Limited. We provide top quality building materials including cement, all types of iron sheets, paints, PPR and PVC pipes, electric pipes, building grills, BRC and square till in various sizes. Need interior and finishing materials? We've got you covered with gypsum, gypsum rails, marine boards, ceiling boards and tanks of all sizes. For fencing, we stock barbed wire, chain link and wire mesh. And the best part, we offer free countrywide delivery with our fleet of transit trucks and pickups. Your order arrives on time, every time. Visit us in Kitengela along Namanga Highway, opposite 411 stage, or at our branches in Kitisuru and Busia. For enquiries, call us on 020-2688-888 or 0733-666632 or 0721-923248. Competitive Hardware Limited, your reliable hardware supplier.
Looking to build a better future in the Gulf? Exciting job opportunities in Saudi Arabia for Kenyans. Competitive Manpower International Limited is currently recruiting for a wide range of skilled and semi-skilled positions. We are now hiring helpers for 1,200 Saudi riyals, steel fixers at 1,500 Saudi riyals, shuttering carpenters at 1,500 Saudi riyals, masons at 1,500 Saudi riyals, charge hands at 1,500 Saudi riyals, men at 1,800 Saudi riyals, scaffolders at 1,200 Saudi riyals, welders at 1,500 Saudi riyals, and plumbers at 1,500 Saudi riyals. Call us today on 020-222-4844 or 0721-506627 or 0733-392180.